Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says the opposition has been using the courts as a means to push their political agenda. Speaking at the weekly post-cabinet press briefing in the wake of the ruling in the property tax appeal, Dr. Rowley said the opposition had not been acting in the public interest, but rather had been attempting to make the country ungovernable. Peter Christopher reports.
After 5 opposition legal challenges were thrown out by the Court of Appeal in 2 days, the Prime Minister came to address a post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday. The press briefing was held a day earlier than usual as Dr. Rowley sought to speak on the opposition's recent eagerness to run to the court to stymie his government. He said while the government continued to respect the judiciary, the opposition was intent on making the country ungovernable via the courtroom.
These are all contrived arguments to create mischief and create mayhem because they are on a pathway to make the country ungovernable. We are on a pathway to make this country progress under good governance.
He said the opposition had continued to push misinformation about the property tax, and the court action was a further attempt to create mayhem. The Prime Minister, however, said this confusion was unwittingly aided by the Ministry of Finance, which he said failed to properly inform the public about the property tax process.
I took issue with the Ministry of Finance for not laying the foundation because I knew that these mischief makers would have made mischief of it, and I knew the population ought to have been properly prepared to receive it, since it was not something we've been accustomed to. Right? Because many persons, while they're willing to participate, there were many questions to be answered, and I must say that the Ministry of Finance did not do the best job of it.
The Prime Minister then took it upon himself to explain how the valuation forms would impact the process if they were submitted.
The forms are meant to assist this process. So it's either you sit home, do nothing, and the valuation department will do the assessment, they will tell you what the assessment is and you pay your tax. Or you can take the opportunity to say to them, this is what I think my valuation should be. I am the owner here. This is what I think it would rent for. This is what I think the tax should be. So in other words, you are involved in the process.
The Prime Minister said the government would continue to fight the opposition's legal challenges in court, but warned that the taxpayers were being expensed as a result. This comes just 1 week after former Prime Minister Bazir Pandey said the opposition should foot the bill for the cases they have brought forth. Peter Christopher, C News.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says the country is set to lose out on $500 million if it fails to collect the property tax. The Prime Minister said based on this, the country had lost out on $3.5 billion in revenue over the past 7 years dating back to 2009.
It took a lot of intervention, including borrowing money, to service this country. And against that background, people who were in the last cabinet and had 5 years to do all the things they want this government to do in 5 months see the court as a place to go to stymie the government's opportunity to collect $500 million on an annual basis.